What's going on, guys? It's Jim. So there's been another stimulus proposal out there. It's been floating around, which puts $5,000 into your pocket in return for a 3-month delay in receiving your Social Security in your 60s. Now, before you go racing over to your keyboard saying,
"No, this isn't real, it's just another scam,"
hear me out, guys, because this is a really, really good idea. You're going to want to hear this one. Now, guys, this proposal is a little bit different than the other ones we've been seeing. The other ones are like, they have drafts of bills and stuff like that, and they're all Congress members. This one's more of an idea that's been floating around, a lot of talk about it, but it's starting to gain a lot of traction, so I want to share it with you guys. Now, $5,000. I mean, that sounds awesome, but this one works a little bit differently than just getting a stimulus check in your direct deposit. This one is a voluntary loan, which means it's totally up to you to decide whether or not you want to take it or not, since you have to pay it back in the future. So let's get into this thing. Let's break it down, see everything it has to offer, then I'll share you my opinion on it and the likelihood of this thing actually happening. Now, if you're new here on my channel, I cover everything to do with finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. So if you like money, then you're in the right place. So hit the little red rectangle and subscribe. Help me grow my channel and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm because it really does help out my video. And I spent a lot of time on this thing. So you can start pulling out your Social Security when you're 62. And every year you wait after 62 to pull it out, up to 67, you earn more and more money. So let's go in the middle and say you pull it out at 65, right? You take your $5,000 loan out today. When you turn 65, you have to wait an additional 3 months until you start getting your checks. That 3 months is going to pay off that $5,000 loan that you took 40 years ago, however old you are. And again, this is completely voluntary, so if you don't want to take out this loan, then don't do it. It's not that big of a deal. It's literally that simple. I mean, you don't have to save up your money, you don't have to pay it back. It's just you wait 3 more months without getting it. I mean, you think about it, you waited your whole life to get Social Security, you're finally ready to get it, what's another 3 months? And that all depends on your financial situation at that time. So I guess you could say it's kind of like taking out a mini Social Security like ahead of time before you're of age, kind of. And the important thing to keep in mind between this and a regular stimulus check, a stimulus check is like a blanket check. As long as you meet the requirements, everybody just kind of gets it. This thing, you gotta go out of your way and opt in for it. So you have that option. I know I said that already, but that's the difference. Now, how do our two parties feel about this? Because we already know, if you watched my last video, that the Democrats are really pushing strongly and pushing hard for another stimulus check ASAP. They want it yesterday, right? And the Republicans are for a stimulus, but just not right now. They want to give it some time and see what the $3 trillion that they pumped into the economy is going to do. But this thing is different, okay? Because this doesn't add any debt to the US economy because you're borrowing it from future self. Now, one good point that I read in the article, which I'll link the articles down below for you guys if you want to read the whole thing, but one good point I found in there was that will this be opening up Pandora's box for future aid programs in the future? And I think that's a really good point here, guys, because I don't think we have ever tapped into Social Security to pay for things before. I could be wrong, but this is a big move here. And it's kind of like if you open that door and go down that alley, is it ever going to end? You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, what is it going to be like in the future if we have another problem, need more money? Will we keep tapping into this? So I think that's the point they're trying to make here. Now, if this thing does end up being real, I think people are just going to jump on it like crazy, whether they need the money or not, because it is such an incredible thing to happen. I mean, there's a huge opportunity here for everyone who does this, and I'm going to explain it to you later in the video. But think about it. You either get $5,000 up front right now, or you got to wait till you're 60 years old, or 62, whatever. You get the idea, right? It's a long time away, unless it's your birthday tomorrow and you're turning 62. Well, happy birthday. But this all depends, of course, on your age and your financial situation, but money in the bank right now is more important in this situation than it is in 40 years or however long it's going to be, right? Now, I guess the only concern about something like this, right, a proposal or a bill, say it passes, what happens during those 3 months when you're supposed to receive your Social Security, right? What happens if you're 3 months short of income? Like I said before, it's all going to depend on your point in life and your financial situations in life. But the reality is a lot of people will heavily rely on this for survival when they're 62 years old. You know what I mean? So you're sacrificing 3 months later, but I mean, that's a long way away for some people. You don't know where you're going to end up in life. It's a gamble. You don't know. So I think it is a really good point to bring up, but at the same time, it's not like you're used to getting payments and then all of a sudden they stop for 3 months. You know what I mean? So it's like you're going to wait 3 more months longer than you've already been waiting. It's not going to cut you off in the middle of it. So let's say people decided to pull this out. They instantly get $5,000 up front. And honestly, it's probably very needed by a lot of Americans right now, considering that we've been at this for almost about 2 months now, right? We started in March and now, well, mid-March, we'll say. Mid-March and it's mid-April. So that's 2 months. And the only thing we've gotten is that $1,200 stimulus check. A lot of people got it. A lot of people didn't get it. And a lot of people won't get it. People are still waiting for it. So I think this is like, people could really use this money right now. But my question is, what happens in another month or two down the road and there's nothing else there for you? What happens then and this $5,000 loan that you took out is exhausted? Well, currently there are a lot of proposals out there right now, and I'm not going to get too into it right now because it's a long video, but I actually did make a separate video on it. If you want to see, click the link above right here, or wait till the end of the video. There'll be, at the end screen thing or down in the description below. But there's a lot of proposals out there right now. And basically what we're looking at, and this is just a summarization, if you want to know the full story, again, watch that video, is a monthly stimulus payment or a lump sum stimulus payment like we had last time, and a payroll tax cut. Again, those are just proposals. Nothing is set in stone yet. Nothing is final. But those are the ones that are gaining the most traction. Now, listen guys, I'm all for a larger stimulus plan, a larger stimulus check, a larger amount, right? That's because I don't think $1,200 was enough money and for the time period. $1,200 is a good amount of money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we could all agree on that, but not for the time period that has passed. $1,200 for 2 months ain't gonna cut it. So for that reason, it's gotta be increased. However, I personally don't see a monthly payment coming. I think it'd be great if it did, but I don't see it happening because they didn't do this the first time. They knew the crisis we were in. It just didn't happen. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But anyway, overall, my prediction for the next stimulus bill, whatever ends up having to pass, I'd like to see the $2,000 upfront check, but also the payroll tax cut. And before you run to your keyboards and be all like,
what if you're not working? Then you can't benefit from this thing. Oh, what about Social Security? They won't have any money for Social Security. The payroll tax cut is just dumb.
the payroll tax cut will provide good incentive to go back to work. Yeah, if you're not working, you will not benefit from this. But if you do go back to work, then you benefit from it. So it's great incentive to get people back to work. And the reality is, we're not gonna fix the economy until people go back to work and we open America and start cranking all the gears. On top of that, why wouldn't you want it? I mean, you're making more on your paycheck. If you're an employee, the maximum amount they could cut it is 7%. I'm not sure how much they're going to cut it. They haven't said anything about that, but just to give you an idea, the maximum amount is 7%. Average person makes $31,000 a year. That means you'd save about $200 a month on your paycheck if they take the maximum amount. If you're self-employed, if you're a business owner, you could save up to 15%. You make $100,000, you save $15,000. That's a no-brainer to me. But on top of all that, this is a long-term, slow and steady stimulus trickling in, right? Get the upfront payment, lump sum, awesome. We need that, absolutely. We need this too. Combine the two and we got a winner. This way you get your upfront lump sum and then you get the other one that kind of trickles in your bank account every month. More money in your pockets, more money to save, more money to invest, more money to spend. And when you spend more, you stimulate the economy even further. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. You can't have the payroll tax cut on its own. That's not gonna work for people because obviously no one's at work right now. So you need the payroll tax cut and the check. So let's say you get these things, right? And then you add on this loan on top of it. That means you could be looking at $7,000 up front and save on your paycheck every single month. That's awesome. Now, like I said, guys, these are just proposals, they're ideas, and they're just concepts floating around. But what is the probability of this thing actually becoming a real thing? What are the odds of you getting this $5,000 and what would you do with it? Well, let's see. I personally think that there's a pretty high chance of us getting this. Number one is that both parties pretty much agree to this, right? And usually when both sides agree to something, it kind of ends up happening. The Democrats are pushing for more stimulus right now, which I think is needed, and the Republicans are concerned about adding debt, which I think is a valid concern. By the way, I'm completely neutral here. I'm not taking sides, but you guys can take sides if you want in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But this concept, this solution satisfies both parties, right? Everybody kind of wins here. Secondly, it's optional. You don't have to take this money out if you don't want to. If you don't want to take the loan, you don't have to take it. Or you don't think you need the money, whatever. Just having the option is a good option, right? Because you will have to pay it back down the road and you never know what your financial situation will be at that point. Now the reality is, guys, people are going to jump on this like hotcakes. Is that the right expression? I think it is, right? Whether you need it or not. I mean, people are going to use this money to pay off their bills, pay off their debt, survival, right? Others will use it for, a new car maybe, or go on vacation, and maybe, hey, take it to the casino and have a great night. But what would I do with it? I would invest it. Let me explain. I'm 24 years old, which means I have 43 years until I turn 67, which is when I would plan to take out the Social Security, because that's when you get your max payments. So 43 years. If I invested this $5,000 now, and I invested it in ETFs or mutual funds and earned an average return of 7% a year for the next 43 years, when I'm 67, that $5,000 investment would then be worth $91,721. Simple as that. And that, my friend, is the power of compounded interest. Now, that's not advice, guys. You do what you want with your money. I'm just a guy on YouTube, right? Don't take my advice, but that's what I would do. So, if you guys made it this far into the video, that means you are a valued and loyal viewer. It also means, in order to maintain that title, you have to hit the little red rectangle right down there. Subscribe and you will remain holders of that title. And if you want to step it up even one more notch, hit the little bell notification. That way when I post a video, your phone rings and you can be the first viewer to see my videos. How awesome is that? So what do you got to lose? Join the team, and while you're at it, smash that like button. When you click the like button, the thumbs up, it turns blue. It's incredible. Give it a shot. I mean, come on, guys. What do you got to lose? It's gonna take 2 seconds. You know how long it took me to put this video together? Like hours, all day, pretty much. I'm not kidding. I know I'm not getting paid for my video. So anyway, guys, outside of that, I love getting feedback, okay? So let me know in the comments below what you think about all this, what your opinions are. Would you take this money out? What would you spend with it? I'm really curious to see. Put it in the comments. I read and I answer every single one of them, unless this video blows up and I get thousands of comments, but I probably won't. So do that. And if you're new here, I hope you liked my video. And if you did, you should probably go watch my other video. I think you'd find them rather interesting. Anyway, guys, with that said, stay safe, stay healthy. If you're waiting for your stimulus, if you're waiting for unemployment, hang in there, stay strong, be patient. Good things will come your way. With that, thank you for watching. I'm Jim Leadus, and I'll see you on the next one. As long as you subscribe, of course, and put the bell notification on.